What made me let my son become homeless? My son, Dylan, dropped out of college in his junior year, insisting he had to dedicate himself fully to his art. That dream dragged on for 18 months. Every morning, I'd leave for my nursing shift at 6 a.m. while he slept until the afternoon. I'd come home exhausted, only to find him sprawled on my couch, eating food I'd bought, dirty dishes everywhere, and his art supplies covering the dining room table. If I dared to ask him to clean up, he'd sigh and tell me, "You're ruining my creative energy." He treated me like staff in my own home. I did his laundry because the smell of it rotting in his room filled the house. I cooked dinner, which he inhaled without a thank you, before vanishing into the guest room he called a studio. It was really just piles of unfinished paintings, empty cans, and trash. When I suggested he get a part-time job, he rolled his eyes and reminded me that I'd always told him to follow his dreams. His art hadn't earned him a single dollar, but I kept funding him, buying expensive paints, canvases, and even driving him to the art store every week. He didn't own a car, so he used mine constantly, always returning it with an empty tank. On top of that, he started hosting his so-called creative sessions. His friends would show up, raid my fridge, drink my wine, blast music until 3 a.m., and trash my dining room with paint and charcoal while I cleaned up after them. When I came home with a migraine one night and caught them using my good kitchen knives to scrape paint, they ruined the blades. When I confronted them, one of his friends smirked and said, "Maybe don't buy expensive stuff if you're going to freak out about it." Dylan actually agreed. The final straw came that same night. Unable to sleep, I went downstairs for tea and overheard them talking about me. His friends asked why I was so uptight. Dylan's answer: "She's just jealous I'm chasing my dreams while she's stuck wiping old people's asses. She peaked in high school and now she wants to drag me down with her." They all laughed. Then he added, "Why would I pay rent? She should be grateful I keep her boring life interesting. Without me, she'd just be some sad nurse coming home to an empty house." Their laughter cut deeper than any knife. In that moment, I realized I wasn't his mother anymore. I was just his free meal ticket. The next day, while he was out, I called a locksmith. I packed his belongings into trash bags and left them on the porch. When he came home, he pounded on the door, screaming, "You can't just kick me out, I'm your son." I told him through the door that he was an adult and it was time he acted like one. He went from fake tears to angry threats, insisting, "I don't really think those things about you. I was just joking." But I'd heard the truth in his voice. He begged, promising to change, promising to get a job. But I'd already given him 18 months of chances. "Figure it out," I told him. 3 weeks later, he called sobbing. He'd burned through every couch to crash on. No one wanted to host a freeloading guest who didn't clean or pay for anything. Without my money, his art career collapsed. He tried working at a fast food place but was fired after a week for being late and having an attitude. "Please, Mom, let me come home. I've learned my lesson." But I had learned mine too. I told him I loved him, but he needed to grow up on his own. Last month, I drove past a homeless shelter and saw him sitting outside, looking completely defeated.